Titan Nation? How is everybody doing? Okay, what's going on, Titan Nation? We're going to try this again. So we're going to have a take two. Definitely forgive me for that. We're definitely going to start over and welcome everybody in to Titans of Truth. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, and we're going to have a really good show on this evening. I apologize for what was happening. I had a few technical difficulties, had some issues as far as what was going on as I was recording. So I decided to redo this. So definitely stick with me on that. Again, definitely make sure that y'all share this show out. Definitely make sure you share it on definitely go follow on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Definitely make sure that you do that. Definitely also, um, if you want some TNT swag, definitely hit me up for that. You can hit me up on any of the pages that I have. Also at CANEWELL817 at gmail.com. You can also hit up Miss Latoya Akinyemi at Queen Butterfly Tees on Instagram or at Queen Butterfly Tees at gmail.com. Or if you want a hat, you can hit my guy at Out the Crib Customs at out_the_crib_customs on Instagram. And you can definitely hit me up. I can also definitely help you as well. So thank y'all for tuning in to TNT tonight. I apologize for the technical difficulty that I did have. Again, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell, set it to all, so that way you get all the content. And also smash that like button as well. Definitely smash it, and then that way you're helping me help you. Again, I definitely apologize for any technical difficulties on that, and we're going to keep showing. I'm not sure why my comments are still not showing, but we're going to continue to press on nevertheless. And again, the Tennessee Titans defeat the Arizona Cardinals 26-23. They move on. They finished the preseason at 2-1, and now the real thing begins. We get ready for the regular season now, and so I was definitely impressed with how the Titans played. I thought some people stepped up very well, and then there were some people that didn't show up very well as far as the game is concerned, and we're definitely going to go into that. And maybe some jobs have been won or lost. So that's something we're going to definitely get into as well. Thank y'all for putting up with me and everything. And we're going to get right down to it. Again, Titans win 26-23 in front of the home crowd at Nissan Stadium. And let's just get down right into the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. And we're going to start off with some good. And some good being Malik Willis's development. He continues to develop. He continues to get better as the game goes on. And, he just continues to, show up when needed to. And so I really like how he, has been able to, has been able to show up and, and definitely prove why he might be this quarterback of the future. He's definitely proven that. He's proven that he belongs. And I mean, I could not have been more impressed with him. I just think he, is showing that he's showing the growth, he's showing maturity, he shows some leadership, and that's a lot of things that I do value when it comes to a quarterback. You got to be able to show that you can lead. You got to be able to show that you can step up in the big moments, and he definitely did that. Had 15 to 23, 131 yards. He threw a touchdown to Burks. He did have an interception, that was batted up in the air by the defensive lineman. I don't know if that one was totally his fault, but I mean, he did throw the pick. And he also had 4 carries for 79 yards, and he ran for 50 yards that set up a score. So I mean, extremely impressed with um what Malik Willis definitely did in this game. So I liked what I saw. Reggie Smith saying what's up. I know some other people was in on the other, was in before, and I'm hoping that you guys come back. Definitely do apologize for that technical difficulty earlier, but we're going to stick it out and we're going to still get everything taken care of. But Malik is definitely making improvements. He is definitely getting ahead of where he was just a few weeks ago. And he has gotten better and better, but there's still some work that needs to be done. I think he still tends to run a little bit too much instead of using his legs to extend the play. He tends to run, trying to get out of danger when the first read is not there. But there were some times that he did show that he has improved. The touchdown pass to Traylon Burks was definitely one. He could have ran, but he got it to Burks in the middle of the field. Burks took it into the end zone. He definitely made a nice pass to Burks and to Robert Woods early in the game. So Malik definitely made some strides, and I think he has at least got a big chance of being quarterback number 2 over Logan Woodside. And we'll definitely talk about Logan Woodside in just a bit. But I definitely like this development. Traylon Burks showing up. 3 catches, 33 yards, the touchdown. I definitely liked what I saw with him, as far as, he's able to get open and he's also able to do a lot of damage with the ball in his hands. And I mean, he caught all 3 of his targets. And so this is a big night for Burks because he needed some momentum going into week 1 that's going to be coming up in just a few weeks. So I definitely liked where Traylon Burks has started to grow. He did go out with a wrist injury early in the game, but he came back in. So I don't think that's going to be anything that's going to be serious. So I definitely like Burks showing up. Rashard Weaver is another. Rashard Weaver is going to get some very meaningful snaps in this game. I mean, in this season. He's going to get a lot of meaningful snaps because he's going to be a big benefit to Harold Landry and Bud Dupree. He's going to be able to relieve them, and so that those guys could get a breather and be able to um step up and make plays. So Rashard Weaver definitely showed up and showed out. And so I definitely was very satisfied with those guys. David Anani is another. I think he's locked up a spot on this roster as the 5th outside linebacker behind Ola Adeni, because Adeni can play special teams as well. And Anani, I think, also can help, like Weaver, spare Landry and Bud Dupree. And that's only going to help those guys in the long run, and they won't be as worn out or as tired at the end of the game. So I thought that was extremely important. Um, so I definitely enjoyed um, those guys. So that is by far the good. I think also good is the fact we have us a right tackle, ladies and gentlemen. And that right tackle's name is Nicholas Petit Ferrer. He beat out Dylan Radens for that position. And, he beat him out fair and square. It looked like Dylan Radens was going to, he was coming into camp as the favorite to win the job. And then Nicholas Petit Ferrer just continued to improve everything. And then, I mean, basically came up and took the job from him. So, I mean, you know, the job was out there to be had. And a lot of people kept saying, Derek, Kevin Dyson said it, Derek Mason said it. A lot of other people were saying it, like, somebody needs to step up and take the job, earn it. Nicholas Petit-Ferrer did that. Dylan Radins did not. And so now Dylan Radins, they got him some play at left guard. He started at left guard last night. I don't think he did too bad at left guard. I mean, still, it's a huge disappointment with Dylan Radins, though, because I had hopes for him. I thought he was going to be the right tackle, but he is not. So Nicholas Petit-Ferrer wins the job, so I'm definitely happy for him. Also, another good. I think Ryan Stonehouse won the punter job last night. I really do think Ryan Stonehouse won the job. I mean, he played the whole game. Brett Kerr did not punt once in this game. And so he had 7 punts. He averaged 49 yards a punt. He averaged almost 50 yards a punt, down 3 of them inside the 20. Probably could have had 2 more inside of the 10 that ended up bouncing in the end zone. I think the coverage team tried to get down there and keep it in bounds, but was not able to do so, and that ended up causing the touchback. So that's kind of what happened there when it comes to the punting situation with Ryan Stonehouse. And you could tell Brett Kern was in his interview, he was like, yeah, I could tell this is going to be a competition, when he first kicked the ball. And I'm like, Brett Kern kind of saw the writings on the wall a little bit, basically saying, I could be out of a job. And that's, you gotta, you definitely have to understand that sometimes you just have somebody that's better. And that's what happened. It's that Ryan Stonehouse is the future. And maybe the future is now. Because the question that you have is, do you sacrifice? Do you keep Brett Kern for another 1 to 2 years at like $3 million? Or do you go with the new kid who's younger and you might be able to get the next 10 years as a punter, and you're probably not even paying close to as much as you paid Brett Kern? And so, the winner of this battle will be the team's punter. The loser will not be out of a job very long. Because if you've heard the news in Buffalo, they released punter Matt Araiza, who was the punter from San Diego State, amid the rape allegations that he's involved in from San Diego State University. So he got cut. So, Buffalo is definitely going to pay attention to this. And I believe on Titans Talkback last night, Rhett Bryan, the producer, basically said, yeah, Brett Kern is originally from the Buffalo area. If he gets cut, and the way that Brett Kern was sounding in his interview, he sounded like this could be my last, I could be getting cut. This might have been my last game as a Titan. And don't get me wrong, I would be very, very sad to see Brett Kern go, but I understand because Ryan Stonehouse made leaps of improvement. The questions that we had, we knew he had a monster leg. There was no doubt about it. But the thing that he did that was impressive, he was able to kind of get the accuracy. He was able to pin Arizona deep inside the 20 a few times. He also had a punt that the Arizona punt returner muffed it, and we recovered it, ended up getting a field goal out of that. And, that went back to earlier in the week during the joint practices. Stonehouse had about 3 of those type of punts he kicked, and Kyle Phillips buffed 3 punts. So, that adds to it. That might give us an extra possession or 2. So that's something that was very, very good with Ryan Stonehouse. I think he may have just won the job, but whoever loses the job will not be unemployed very long. They'll probably end up in Buffalo or could end up in Indianapolis. So we definitely could look for that. Now let's go to the bad. And the bad being the wide receivers who are battling for that 6th spot, particularly Des Fitzpatrick. My goodness, he had a bad night. He had a very bad night. And I mean, only had like 2 catches for 20 yards, but he had a chance to catch the game-winning touchdown on 3rd down from Logan Woodside. And I didn't put Logan Woodside in the bad or the good. I mean, and there's a reason why for that, which we'll get to. But let's stick with Des Fitzpatrick. Des Fitzpatrick, I think, cost himself a job last night because he really didn't do anything in the game. And then in the 4th quarter, you get the final drive. You have a chance to catch a game-winning touchdown, what every receiver dreams to do, and you drop it. Logan Woodside put it on the outside right where he could get it, and it just dropped out of his hand. I'm like, oh my God. So I've given up on Des Fitzpatrick. I don't think he makes the team. And honestly, I don't know if you even should bring him on the practice squad, because I know they worked out a couple of receivers this past week. So maybe one of those guys. And of course, on the waiver wire, there's going to be thousands of players that get cut. A lot of receivers are going to get cut. So I think the 6th receiver may not even be on this team. So, Mason Kinsey, Reggie Robinson really didn't do much. I mean, Mason Kinsey could do some stuff on special teams. That might help him. He may end up back on the practice squad. I think Reggie Robinson could end up on the practice squad as well. They may only keep 5 for right now, maybe add a 6th later. And speaking of Logan Woodside, before that last drive, or really before that 4th down run that he scurried into the end zone for the game winner, if that game winner hadn't happened, I easily would have put Logan Woodside on the downright ugly and would have been like, that's it. It's over. He's out. Don't even bring him back on the practice squad. Just cut him. But what I think is going to happen now, Logan Woodside, that last drive, he saved his job. He saved his career on that drive. It was a very impressive 12-play, I want to say 70-yard drive for the game winner. Very impressive. And, on 4th down, there was the lane open. He was running in. He got the 1st down. They called it a touchdown. They wondered if the knee was down, but he got it. And you could tell the team, those guys were just happy for him because Logan Woodside was struggling. And Malik started here. Here's Logan. He easily came up and passed him. So I think Malik is quarterback number 2. But what I think the Titans will do, they will cut Logan Woodside. He'll make it through waivers. Nobody's going to pick him up. And he'll end up on the practice squad. And he will be one of those 4 practice squad players that you protect every week. You could bring him up on the roster. If he has to go in, he could go in. That still gives Malik time to learn, develop, watch Ryan Tannehill on the field in real games, and then he can learn his stuff. If Logan Woodside has to go in, so be it, even though I think Malik gives us a better chance to win, because with Logan Woodside, he's going to do check downs. He's going to try to be safe. With Malik, he adds excitement. he adds a dimension that Logan just doesn't have. But what I think will happen is that Logan Woodside ends up on the practice squad. I think he ends up on the practice squad, and he'll be a guy that is brought up to the main, brought up from the practice squad every week, and then once it's over, they'll put him back to the practice squad. So that's just what I think they're going to do as far as I'm concerned at that position. Let's see. Landon Webb says Woodside had such a bad preseason, but I was happy for him on that last drive. I agree, because before that last drive, I was like, Logan's out of there. He's gone. But with that last drive, he might have saved himself. He really did. So that was my bad. I think Dez Fitzpatrick is out. The downright ugly will have to be, one, the depth at offensive line. It was just bad. Bad. Xavier Newman and Rupchek and Howerton, all those guys, none of those guys are going to make the team. And I think they're going to keep 9 offensive linemen. I think. So you're going to have, and I'm going to go back to the wide receiver in just a second. Offensive line, Taylor Wan, Aaron Brewer, Ben Jones, Nate Davis, Nicholas Petit-Ferrer. That's your starting 5. Dylan Radunz will get in by default because he could be that guard, that swing guard that could play left or right. Maybe he could do a little better at left tackle because, there have been rumors, and even he said it, he feels more comfortable on the left side. So he could be on the left side. So that's 6. Corey Levin is going to make the team at 7. Mike Vrabel already said, hoping to have Jamarco Jones back for practice. So Jamarco Jones, even though I think he should be cut because he's done absolutely nothing. And if you're going to have Dylan Radunz as the backup to Aaron Brewer, then you really don't need Jamarco Jones. But Jones could play any position on the line. And then that last spot is the question. So out of 5, then you have Radunz, Jamarco Jones, Corey Levin. I think that last spot is a free agent as well. I could have said Jalen McKenzie, but he didn't really look good last night either. So maybe Jordan Roos is the 9th guy. And then if they bring in somebody, he gets cut or ends up on the practice squad or something like that. But I think the 9th guy is somebody that's not on this team. Also, going back to the receivers, 5, you got Burks, Woods, Westbrook-Ikhine, Phillips, Racey McMath. The 6th guy, again, I don't think is on this team. And then the last guy is Laurel Murchison. I think Laurel Murchison is gone. I think he's gone. I think he's out. Just not that good. And I think you got guys like Deshaun Hand, who has, played better. You're going to have Simmons, Autry, Tier Tart, Naquan Jones, DeMarcus Walker. That's at least 5. And I think for right now, Deshaun Hand is that 6th defensive lineman if they go with 6. But the main 5, Simmons, Autry, Tart, Jones, Walker. That's at least the main 5. And then I think Deshaun Hand is the 6th. King Dingaling says, "What's up? What's going on?" I'm sorry I'm not able to show y'all comments on the stream. I'm not sure why I can't show the comments on the stream. I'm gonna try to figure that out going into Wednesday and also into the Truth League report. But I like Deshaun Hand. I think DeMarcus Walker is definitely going to add some depth as well. He could definitely get to the quarterback too. Um, so I think Laurel Murchison is definitely on his way out. I think AJ Moore, the Texan, could be on his way out. Adrian Colbert could be on his way out too. So those are some guys that I just think are expendable. We don't know what the roster is going to look like just yet, but we are going to see that at some point. Even though Julius Chestnut had a pretty good game, 9 for 27 and a touchdown, I think he's on the practice squad as well. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Wednesday, we will definitely go over the roster cuts. We'll definitely go over the roster cuts and things like that. I may do a quick recording giving my last predictions of the 53 before Wednesday show, because by then the roster cuts would have already been made. So I may definitely do that. So definitely be on the lookout. I might do that really quick as well. Ty Anderson, glad that you back in here. Again, make sure y'all share this show out if you haven't already. Definitely share this show out. You can definitely share it. If you haven't joined any of the pages, you got TNT Enforcers. That's the fan page on Facebook. Also on Instagram at Titans_in_truth. And also on Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer. And super chats, of course, are also appreciated. So I definitely would appreciate those as well. But one last thing before we do get ready to call this a night. I thought, again, I think Malik did well. I liked what I saw from Burks. I definitely like what I saw defensively, especially up front with Weaver and a 90. Chance Campbell, I think, could play some snaps at inside linebacker. I don't know if Dr. Jack is going to make it or anything like that. I think Farley has continued to improve. You didn't see Roger McCreary, which tells me he's probably ahead of Farley a little bit as a starter, but I still think Farley should be the guy, but it's going to be interchangeable with that. So depending probably on matchup. And some people thought Theo Jackson had a good night. I don't think so. I think Theo Jackson could be headed for the practice squad as well. So that's kind of what I thought about that. Y'all leave me your thoughts. What did you think of the game? Who do you think is on their way out? Who do you think earned their way in? Again, Nicholas Petit-Ferrer and Ryan Stonehouse, I think, earned starting jobs last night. And so I think David Anini earned a spot on the team. I think Murchison is on his way out. One last thing that happened also, Derrick Henry in the top 100 at number 12. And I think if he had not gotten hurt, he would have been ranked higher. He would have been in the top 10 for certain. But, you got Big Jeff at 54. You had Kevin Byard at 34, and no mention of Derrick Henry. You knew Derrick Henry was going to get on the list somewhere. And so he ends up at, number 12. Titan Anderson says, I think Chig and Hoop will be huge this season. And I don't disagree with that. I think Hoop has truly become one of Ryan Tannehill's favorite targets. And I think, that's, you know, I think that's gonna definitely work. So I, you know, I was definitely glad to see that dynamic work in the off season. So I think Chig, yeah, I think Chig and Hoop could definitely work. You saw some strides with Hooper, I mean with Chig in these last couple of weeks. So I like Chig. I think Chig is the future, but I definitely like Hooper. Um Tight Anderson says Weaver healthy will be an impact guy. Love to see him get 5 sacks. He's gonna get meaningful snaps. That much is a promise. He's going to get meaningful snaps without a doubt. So there's no question when it comes to that. But everybody, I think that's about it for tonight's show. I thank everybody for tuning in to TNT post game. The Titans again, as Mike Keefe would say, get it done again as they defeat the Arizona Cardinals 26-23. And now preseason's over. Now it's for real. September 11th, New York Giants 325. I will be in the house at Nissan Stadium, ready and raring to go week 1. That much is a fact. So, again, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to the show. Thank y'all for support. And make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And definitely help me out. I'm almost at 1,200. Help me get to 2,000. So I am definitely there. I am about 30 from 1,200. I'm about another 800 from 2,000. Help me get there, y'all. Spread the word to everybody and help me get to that number, please. So thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a good night. And as always, tighten up because that's all we know how to do.